All right, it's your man Brett from the Skateboarding Show here with a think piece, and I'd like to talk about the last post I've done. I've had some interesting and challenging conversations today, last night, which have sort of empowered me and helped me to reflect on that last post that I did. And it's become clear to me through these interesting and challenging conversations that making a sweeping statement about all men is not very supportive. It's not very supportive of me towards other people. And perhaps that's one of the things we need to do as men, is support each other as well. We need to all support each other, no matter what gender anyone is. But making a sweeping statement like that is not a very supportive act for me to do. So I've reflected on that, and I see that, and I'm very grateful to the men and women that I've spoken to that have been supportive. And that have been supportive to me, supporting me by helping me to have challenging conversations with them about the things that I said. It was not supportive of me to make a sweeping statement. And perhaps the message could have been that there are lots of people doing lots of good work, and that there are some people not doing very good work, and that we could do better, including supporting each other as men, because some of that support could be seeing somebody perform some behaviour that you don't think is appropriate and actually going and speaking with them. Because challenging somebody doesn't mean being aggressive about it. It might mean having a conversation with them and going, are you okay? Because that's not the sort of behaviour that I'd normally see from you. So is there something you want to talk about? Are you all right? Do you want to sit and have a chat? Which might seem simple, but that might also be challenging as well, to take the time to look at somebody and go, what's really going on here? Because that behaviour might be an indication of something else. And there are plenty of people who do that, and more power to you, and thank you for doing that. And there are plenty of people who work really well with people down at skate parks and who interact perfectly and in a great way. And we can learn a lot from those people. But making a sweeping statement also, I wonder if it meant that some of my message was lost, because I stand by the message that we need to respect people's lived experience. That is definitely something we need to do. Men and women, everyone's lived experience, and acknowledge it and hear it, and actually hear it, actually take it on board. I stand by the idea that me included, and maybe many other people, need to keep being reflective, self-reflective over what it is to be supportive of fellow skateboarders. Because we could all do that. We could all be more supportive. And I think that's really important. I think everybody thinks that's important in one way or another. I could completely understand that, as I say, making sweeping statements is not one way to be supportive, and I've reflected on that, and I've seen that, and I see that it's not one way to be supportive. We can all do things that are not great to do. It's whether or not we can reflect on those and go, God damn it, that was not a good thing to do. And we may not always know why somebody is performing those behaviours. There might, and so challenging somebody isn't going and having a go at them. It might be saying to them, What's going on? What's going on for you? And that in itself might be a challenging conversation, because you might hear things you don't want to hear, but it might be more supportive. My actions were not supportive in the last post. My actions were not supportive in the last post. And that's all I'd like to do, is try and be supportive. I shouldn't have been making suggestions, really. I should have kept it along the lines of conceptual intellectual philosophy rather than making suggestions to people. But I did, and I've reflected on it, and maybe I've learnt from it. And it's brought about fresh ideas of what it is to be supportive for me, and for me to act on, and for me to adapt my behaviour accordingly around all manner of different things, And I won't get it right. And I'll try and reflect on it, and I'll try and adapt it, and try and change it, and I'll try and do better myself, including acknowledging that I'm very grateful to some of the people that I've spoken with and had interesting, challenging conversations with. And I'm very grateful for some of the insights they've had, and some of the insights some of those conversations have given me around what is it actually to be supportive for us men with each other, and what is it to be supportive to other members of the skate park. Well, I don't know about that. It's maybe not my place to say, but certainly, and it's not my place to say anything about anything. Go do whatever you want, right? I was not supportive, and I acknowledge that, and I see that, and it was not helpful. If you've got this far, thank you for listening. I'll leave it there. See you later. Bye-bye.